Good morning, viewers. So here I'm again with a new video for all of you. But today's video is for class 12 students because I'm going to take up a poem from their textbook Flamingo, and the title of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So as the title of the poem says, this poem is about some young children because the word elementary itself says the school for young children, and this school is in a slum area. So we will see what the poet talks about these children and about their school. But I'll be also asking you some questions while telling or explaining this poem to you. So as it is not the live interaction with you people, so I request you to write your answers in the comment section. So I feel that that will be the best way to get interacted with you people. So I will check your answers, and if I will find that there is need of correction, I will definitely tell you. So let us start the poem. So let us start with a poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spander. So here you can see a picture in which children are sitting in the classroom, and you can see how the room is looking, how the classroom is looking, and you can see the faces of the children, how they are looking. And one boy is sitting there on the chair, and he is not actually sitting, you can say that he is sleeping, means he is not showing interest in the class. So such kind of scenario of the class has been shown by Stephen Spander also in the poem, and the reason behind that, means why the children are feeling like this. Now there are questions for you where I have written making learning meaningful, means how can we make learning meaningful. This is for you as well as for these students, means whatever is the message of this poem, that can be assessed through these questions. You can understand the poem from this perspective also. So the first question is, how do we ensure that learning shifts from rote methods? As in my classes I keep on saying, and I'll say that I keep on repeating the words of Albert Einstein, that learning should not be rote learning, it should be insight formation. So do you think such kind of classrooms will be able to create insight formation, and will they be able to form the insight among the students, means will they be able to develop ideas? I don't feel so. I feel that if the classroom is like this one only, means if the students are not feeling encouraged for starting in the classroom, then insight formation cannot be there. Then second question is, how can we connect learning or knowledge to life outside the school? So you can see that these two questions are interconnected with each other. How come? They are interconnected with each other because if the learning is joyful, if the learning is lively, only then we will be able to connect this learning with the life outside the school. Means if the ideas are developed in the classroom, if the students are able to express their ideas, and if they are able to take part in the discussions in the classroom, and if they are able to connect themselves with the ideas which are being taught in the classroom with their real life experiences, I feel that in this way learning and or knowledge, it will be connected to life outside the school. But the picture that we have seen earlier, is it giving this idea to you? I don't feel that this is giving this idea. It gives us an idea that the students are not getting connected with the classroom. So how will they be able to connect their learning to life outside the school? Next question is, how can we make learning an enriching experience? So all these three questions are interrelated with each other. Now the question is, how can we make learning an enriching experience? It can become an enriching experience if it will be related to our life, if we will be able to apply it in our life, we will be able to correlate it with our life. Only then it can be called as an enriching experience. For example, the students who are here in this picture that you have seen just now, I'm showing it again, and these students, they are being shown the world which is fascinating, the modern world. Will they be able to connect themselves with that world? They won't be, never be. Why? Because the real world is something different from that modern world. So this is the thing which is being portrayed in the poem by Stephen Spander. So let us start with the first answer. But before telling you in depth about the poem, I feel that I should tell you about the writer. Because when we read the poem from the perspective of a writer, then the things become more clear to us. I'll say clearer to us. Why? Because we can understand why the poet has written it and what may be going in his mind while writing the poem. And we can interpret the poem from his point of view also. So as about Stephen Spander, Sir Stephen Harold Spander CBE, he was born on 28th of February 1909 and he died on 16th of July 1995. He was an English poet, novelist and essayist. His work focused on themes of social justice and class struggle, and he was appointed Poet Laureate Consultant in Poetry to the United States Library of Congress in 1965. And as about this poem, if we take in the context of the poet, so we can see that Stephen Spender describes social inequalities around him. It might be that he must have seen such kind of things around him, and that's why he wrote this poem. He describes the condition of the students of an elementary school that is situated in a slum area. The poet wants to draw everyone's attention towards these children so that their lives can be improved. So this is with the context of the poet, means what he thinks. So if I tell you in very brief, so this poem, it describes a primary school in a slum. Children studying in a slum classroom depict social injustice and perpetual poverty prevailing among the slum dwellers. Okay, the poet expresses his belief that people, who are ignited by the spirit of knowledge and learning are the ones who create history. Means this is his point of view, and he says that it is a moral liability of everyone to break barriers between the haves and have-nots and give a meaningful education to all. For history remembers only those people who are educated and have enlightened themselves for a better world. So this is point of view of the writer, and he has shown it through this poem. So let us take the poem stanza wise. So first stanza, today I will be taking only one stanza, and in this way I will be taking one stanza in every video. So first stanza, it is containing 18 lines. 8 lines. Sorry for the wrong information. So what does it say? See, we have to read the stanzas, with correct intonation, with proper expression. Otherwise, I feel that the beauty of the poem is not expressed. Means whatever the poet is feeling, that will not be expressed if we are not reading the poem with the correct intonation and I'll say with feeling also. So what is there? Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes. The stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. So here he has described some of the children who are sitting in the classroom. First of all, he is putting emphasis here. He is writing that far, far from gusty waves. Spender here is describing the miserable condition of the slum children. Means how their life is away, far, far away, very away from the gusty waves. Gusty waves, what is gusty waves here? Here means that energetic life of theirs, like the rich people, they have energetic life. These children are not having those gusty waves. They are not having, that charming look on their face. They are not looking energetic. Instead of that, these children, they are looking like rootless weeds. Rootless weeds means they are not having any solid ground. They are looking withered and worn out. This is the condition of their faces. This is the condition of these children that you can see in the picture as well, because these are not the real children which I have taken. Means I have found somewhere and I am showing you the real picture. I am just giving you a clue. I am just giving you a hint that what kind of children will be there sitting in the classroom, because picture, it is more as compared to if I talk about the words. 1,000 words cannot express what a picture can express. But yeah, I'm not doing the justice to the poets here now. because words can also express, if you are have that power to express your feelings through the poem. And it is equally you know apt in case of the reader also. If the reader is paying whole attention and he is having that poetic bent of mind, he will be able to create the picture from the words also. So what I was telling about these children, how they are looking, how their faces are looking, and they look like rootless weeds, means they are not having any solid ground, they are not looking energetic, they are looking withered and worn out. Now how they are unclean and untidy, as they are malnourished. The hair torn round their pallor means their face is not looking good, their face is not tidy, it is untidy and unclean, and their hair, they are not combed, their hair is not combed. The tall girl with her weighed down head. Now he talks about a girl whose head is weighed down, means she is having some burden in her life, that's why she is looking like that. The paper seeming boy. Now he talks about a boy who is malnourished. He is sick and hungry. He is malnourished. That's why he is looking like paper, means thin as a paper, with rat's eye. Now you have seen that a rat is always looking for food, always searching for food, and it is hungry. That's why it keeps on searching for food. So this child is having the rat's eyes, means this child is, malnourished, and that's why his eyes will look for the food only. He won't be looking for education, means basic necessity is not being provided for him. This basic necessity means he is not being provided with the food. So how can you expect him to learn something? The stunted unlucky heir of twisted bones. Now it is said that this boy is the heir of the twisted bones, means his father must be having the twisted bones problem. So this boy, his growth is stunted, means his physical growth could not happen, and that's why he is unlucky heir of twisted bones. His bones are also twisted like his own father's. He is reciting a father's gnarl disease. So he is reciting the father's disease, means he is not reciting only the lesson which is going to be given in the classroom, he is reciting his father's disease also. This is a kind of pun here, poetic device pun here, means double meaning is there. He is not only reciting means he will definitely won't be reciting the class lesson, he is reciting his father's disease instead. Next it is written, his lesson from his desk. So he seems to be reciting the lesson, but actually he has recited his father's disease, means he has got the disease from his father, he has got it through genes, and that's why he is portraying it, he is showing it through his body. Next, at back of the gym class, one unnoted sweet and young, and there is one young boy also who is sitting at the back bench, and he is unnoted. Why he is unnoted? Because teacher is not interested in these children. The teacher has just to give the lesson, and children have to listen to it. And as about this boy, if he is not paying any attention to the chapter, that is not in the business of the teacher. So this boy, he is lost in his own dreams, as he is not able to think about very big games. So being his world is not that much wide world, he is living in a narrow world, so he is thinking about the game that he can afford. So what kind of game he is thinking of? The squirrel's game, the squirrel that can be that may be visible from his window, and this squirrel might be playing on the tree, so he also wants to be the part of that. So this is the point of view of the writer. He says that such kind of children are present in the class. He is talking about a tall slim girl who has her head bowed down as though she is exhausted physically because of malnutrition, and emotionally because of burden of the poverty. And other students of the class are also in the same situation. There is a boy who is as thin as paper, again because of malnutrition and lack of civic amenities, you can also say, and he has eyes like that of a rat searching for food and betterment. Only one boy is there who seems to be sweet and young, but he is also not interested in the class, okay, and he seemed to be interested in the squirrel's game. He seems to be lost in the world of his dreams. So next So this was the stanza. I think I have discussed with you, and you here can see the the squirrel. So the boy is looking at the squirrel and he is lost in the world of the squirrel's game. So if we talk about the literary devices which have been used in this poem, in this stanza, I'll say in this stanza, stanza number 1. So there is simile. You know that when there is comparison between two things by using like or as, that is called simile. So here children are compared with rootless weeds. You can see that here it is written, let us go there, it is written like rootless weeds. So like has been used, so it means that this is the use of simile. Next there is metaphor. Boy is compared with paper as he is thin. Paper seeming boy, like this it is written. So here there is not the use of like or as, and if there is not the use of like or as, then we say that this is metaphor. So the paper seeming boy is the example of metaphor. Then there is repetition. You have seen in the first line, far far from gusty waves. So far far is being repeated here, and you can say that there is an example of alliteration also, because far far from, so f sound is being repeated, so this is alliteration also. Then there is imagery also, because imagery, it is descriptive language that can function as a way for the reader to better imagine the poem. So many pictures come in our mind when we read this poem. So weighed down, it refers to the burden of the poverty. So the girl is seeming as if her head is weighed down just because of the burden of the poverty. And then there are some other pictures like the boy having rat's eyes. So you can imagine how the child may be looking, means how his expression will be. We can imagine from this line only, from this phrase only, with rat's eyes. Okay, and then there has been the poet has talked about unlucky heir of twisted bones reciting a father's gnarled disease. So you can also imagine how the boy might be looking when he is he is called as the unlucky heir of the twisted bones. So the twisted bones come in your mind. These words create an image in your mind. Then squirrel's game, so squirrel comes in our mind. So this is the example, these all are the examples of imagery. So here repetition is written, but it's about the other stanzas. So I will teach you about other repetitions in the next videos. And then metaphor has been also used here. So gusty waves is used for the gusty waves are for the privileged children. These are not privileged children, they are not having the privilege of everything in their life. So those children who are rich, who can have everything in their life, their faces will be full of energy, they will be looking energetic. That's why they will be near the gusty waves. Those gusty waves will be, they can be seen on their faces. But these children, they are far away from gusty waves. So these gusty waves are for privileged children, because they are always having energetic waves. And future is painted with the fog. This is to be done in the next video. And then other figures of speech might be there. You will have to go through them and you will tell me which other figures of speech have been used. So with this, I feel that I have cleared the first stanza to you. You will go through it, and if any question or any query is there, you can ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day.